cure. Nothing wrong with health care. That if we put people to work, we can solve the problem. You all remember after the election of Scott Brown in Massachusetts that President Obama was going to, have a laser focus on jobs. Have you seen anything? I haven't, frankly. There was a very small jobs package that, frankly, was just essentially more government spending. More public sector bailout has turned this it's now the $863 billion stimulus program has been. What are the facts? Well, instead of creating jobs, almost 4 million jobs have been lost in this country since the passage of the stimulus bill about a year ago. It was said to contain unemployment at 8%. It's now around 10% in the country. Even optimistic growth projections say it's less than half of what was experienced in previous recovery. Because you're always hearing, oh, we're in this recovery. There's this recovery now. I don't know about you, but I don't see it. And then when I hear people telling me there's a jobless recovery, that just doesn't make sense. How can you have a recovery? That's an oxymoron and doesn't wash. The real cost of this is over $1 trillion, which is twice as much spending in real terms as all the spending in Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal program. And ultimately, of course, there's no incentives to save, invest, or promote long-term private sector growth. Look what happened here in Michigan. If you remember when this was passed, everyone said, okay, mayors, councilmen, supervisor, trustee, we're going to do these shovel-ready projects. Get your list together. We're going to come to work and do that. Well, here in Michigan, we didn't even do that. The money went to Lansing and it never left. Why? Because it was used to fill the gap in the budget from the previous overspending by the politicians in Lansing. So we didn't even get the benefit of having those public sector work programs here. And now they tell us that most of the benefit has already been derived. It's been a disaster, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing more coming down the pike. There are no more answers being provided to the American people in terms of what we can do for jobs. But we have a plan. It's really not that hard. Can you flip the but before we get there, a couple things I want to touch on. Tax cuts of 2000.